Good evening and welcome to the Down Under call for the 5th of May. And on our call tonight we have Terri Baxter. Terri, it's all yours.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming and sharing a bit of my journey with me, and hopefully I can give you a few pointers of what I'm doing. Pretty much I started out from going through TAFE and high school and all that as a younger kid, having a bike accident at about 15, and it was pretty scary because I was a survivor of that, and from that point it pretty well changed my life. That I knew there was something that I was left on this earth for, but I didn't know what it was, and so I kept struggling away trying to find different directions of what I could succeed at that I was most happy at. I've had kids, I've got 5 kids, 5 beautiful kids, and that wasn't it. I can assure you that wasn't what I was left here for. And I tried secretarial and that wasn't it. Then I went on to doing some IT, and it wasn't fulfilling enough for me. And I travelled around up and down the New South Wales coast, up into Queensland and then back down. Been through bad relationships and domestic violence situations, and so it sort of toughened me up a little bit, and I got to the point where I came out west and I tried to set up some businesses, and it's very hard out here because the communities are very very small and they're all set in their farming ways. So we did we tried a bit of the hobby farming, which I loved tremendously, and then one particular day we went and set up a business in a little shop, and I come across an advert of Guy and Alarm on there, and I wasn't real happy with what I was doing. So I sort of come home and then I revisited that article, and I said to the kids, look, I've got nothing to lose. I'm just going to take it on and dive in the deep end and see where I come out. So I started doing the training, and I loved every minute of it. It's basically the more I got, the more I fed on it, and the more I learned. I was able to, within a few months, basically start applying quite quickly what I'd learned straight up. And then I sort of got to the point where I wanted a bit more. I got a bit more hungry. I wanted to branch out and do something else. And I'd done the 5 modules, and I thought, well, what can I do? I've set up website, and I really loved doing the blogging and everything, but I needed an income to come along with that. So what I've done is I started selling off all the livestock, and that was quite sad for us because we hand raised a lot of our pet goats and that, so they'd finally just gone, and that little bit of income has gone into a bit of advertising and a bit of advertising for the new business that we now have, and we're actually selling a natural goat milk product as well as doing Terri and Baxter Educating the Future, which is becoming quite big. It's the branding of that is going on Facebook and Google. It's out there. It's just wide. I can't. It's getting to the point now where I've got to try and keep track of everything of where it's going, because I've just run a Google ad now and set up the business page for that. And so we've got the other shop, the natural goat milk product. That's all self-sufficient now. It's running itself, and it's got a little incorporated Amazon store in that as well. And pretty much got my Facebook ad campaigns reinstated today. Really excited about that. And I've got a couple of businesses that I'm actually getting set up on my Google businesses, or yeah, Google Maps and that, yeah. So that's pretty close to the rundown of everything. We're slowly packing up and selling off stuff, surplus stuff, so that we're looking at relocating as well. And what else are we doing? We're building apps for both those two websites as well. So yeah. Now I've got my nervous rant out. So that's pretty much what we've been doing. It's just changing a lot of the direction from where we used to be hobby farming. We're now going online. I've got a lot more people coming to me now and asking me what I do in the business and everything. And there's a lot more interest now. I've done a lot of work over the past 12 months, so it's slow. I haven't just gone out and shoved it out there. I've taken my time to build the structure, carefully set everything out the way I wanted it, and then incorporated it, the second website as the extra income to support the other one as well, and to support any ads that are running as well. So I think with the way I figured it is, a lot of the stuff that we were learning, you could either go a few different ways. You could be the affiliate, which I've tried, and I wasn't really outside of the company SFM, but I didn't really, I don't know, I found that very demanding and very tiring, and spent a lot of time keeping up with different campaigns. So I didn't really sort of go with that, and I diverted back to just running affiliate campaigns for SFM, and then building up my own brands and the own store, the online store as well. So that's pretty much what we've been doing, and just running advertising and building business pages, and yeah.
Cool. And you've got an event coming up this weekend, do you? Is it this weekend?
As in
the get together.
The Australian SFM members catch up is on the 14th of May, and I'm presently in the process of building. I've actually built the PowerPoint presentation that I want to put there, but yeah, just getting it to the fine tuning that now and incorporating that into the call meeting that I'm doing at the time.
Yeah, no worries.
Because the internet out this way is not real strong, so you've got to pick your moments when you can sort of get in there, and it's strong. There's not a lot of usage out here, and things run a bit smoother.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and today we did a little bit of promoting in Trundle, because there's actually a big event, the ABBA Festival's on Saturday, so a lot of free promotion, live video footage for that as well. So, which is good for business, building up the business as well, because it's gets you out there, and people start seeing that you're consistent with what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, they like to be promoted for free.
Don't we all?
So yeah, it's pretty well what we've been doing at the moment. Just yeah.
So you how are you promoting yourself?
At the moment, I've been mainly doing videos, and I've got a few on YouTube, but I'm basically on Facebook, via blogs, or just sharing, posting.
So so you're going down the free route?
Yeah, until couple of days ago, we started building the ad campaign for Google Business, and I built myself one first, and then I put a campaign out there that will run for about 30 days, I think. It runs for 30 days, and then you calculate it'll cost me $75 for that 30 days, and it'll just run until about the 2nd of June, I think.
Okay.
And that's on Google Ads. And just recently promoted my business page on Facebook, which will run for another 10 days at $5 a day. I put that one there for $5 a day, so that will run for the next 10 days as well. So I'm at that point now where I can, I've done a lot of the free promotion and a lot of the free getting me out there, posting through Aweber, and constantly keeping my logo brand incorporated into everything, whether it be in a video or in a post, or just in communicating with anybody. It just depends on the level who you're talking to and what you want to put across. I've also run an ad in the Police Association's magazine, made a donation to the Police Association for New South Wales, and that covered quite a large area as well. So it was sort of like my contribution to the cause for where police have actually been killed in the line of duty. It goes towards the widows and the families. So my donation's gone to them, and they've promoted the business. So I haven't totally gone down that free option.
But you're doing quite a bit down the free option, but you're doing some paid as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like you get phone calls and people just asking what you're doing and what you're covering, or somebody will pull you up in the main street and just ask you what you're doing, and
All right. So does anyone else have any questions?
Terri, sorry, I don't know whether I just didn't hear you properly, or so the core of your business is what again?
The main website I've got is Terri Baxter Educating the Future, and that's my SFM authority site, and I basically built that up with blogs and photos, and I'm now at the point now where I can actually sell PDFs or sell products off that as well. I've incorporated different plugins where you can actually, if I create a PDF or something, I can actually incorporate the links from the link generator into the PDF file, and then basically you provide that as a sale. So they're getting information as well as they're getting the sale apps as well. I've incorporated into that, and that's just one of the things that I've got on the site as well. And the other one is the family business that I've built up, which is a natural goat milk product, and along with that I've incorporated the Amazon gift store, like the Amazon store in with that one as well.
Oh, right, excellent. I will definitely have a look. I haven't as yet, Terri, but I will definitely have a look for your website. And thank you, that makes it more clear. I just wasn't understanding the link, but now I can understand exactly what you've been doing.
Well, if you're on Facebook, you can go and look it up on Facebook. The website's there as well.
Fantastic. I'll definitely do that, because thank you, that's very interesting.
Yeah, so I've just basically incorporated as much as me and the family as I possibly can, because I wanted it to be more family orientated, because of the structure that's based on the quick make money now, make money from home and all this kind of thing. There's a different way you can use all those SFM links in our back office. Instead of targeting, like a lot of them have gone out and quick buck, make money from home, all those kind of fast cash kind of things. It sort of builds a bad reputation when you're sort of trying to build your own brand. So I've chosen very carefully selected words out of each link that I've chosen to promote it as an educational product instead of here's your link, go out and make money. Because you can't. You've got to work. Really got to work at it really hard. And if you really think about it, it's a training process that you're going through, and you have to apply it. So instead of going out and just flogging it off as a quick buck kind of link, you've got to sort of put a bit of thought into how you're presenting it. And my target is basically that if I'm going to go out and promote an education for my kids, I want to be able to do the same for other people. And what we've learned is, one, you can build your own website and create a business from that. Two, you can become an affiliate, and you can build work with other people on their businesses. There's so many different areas that you can build like a business out of. It's not like you just keep pushing out those little links from the link generator. It's yeah.
No, that sounds great, Terri. I definitely will spend some time having a look at it.
Yeah. I'm not much into YouTube videos. I do have some up there, but I found it a lot of time involved in taking a video, putting it back through YouTube, editing it and doing all that sort of stuff. I was able to incorporate my Google accounts through that. So if somebody goes through that, then they can get directed through to my Google accounts, business pages and whatnot through there. So it's sort of like it's ongoing circle. You just keep incorporating everything into each one, so they go around Twitter, YouTube. Yeah, so each one keeps referring back to the next one and gives them options to visit other areas of you, really.
Absolutely.
Well, that's my interpretation of what I feel when Stuart says build your brand. That's my interpretation, is build a platform about me, and then the people will come, because if they're interested enough, then they'll seek you out. It might take a little bit longer because you're starting from scratch. You're a nobody and you've got to build yourself up. And in 12 months, I'm sort of right. I'm not Richard Branson yet, but I'm not up in that league yet, but I'm working on it.
Well, I think you've done a wonderful job, in the time that you've had, without being funny, Terri, because I know you've got lots of other commitments. So keep going. It's great.
Well, yeah, I've homeschooled 3 kids, and I'm down to the last one now. She's 10 and a half, turning 11 in July, and the other one's doing 11 and 12 on her own. So I just have to chaperone that one. And 2 of my kids have got disabilities. The youngest one has got the biggest cocktail. She's ADHD, dyslexic, and OCD. So she's a lovely little pocket rocket. And a lot of the times people will see Nikita with me, and she often jumps in and says hello to people, and yeah. So I think she's going to take the path of being an entrepreneur herself, whereas the other 2 are a bit standoffish, they're a bit shy. They don't want to be out in front of the camera, but they do get there. They do that. I do drag them in. So I try and keep all my pages about family and educational kind of stuff. So I try to focus on that kind of direction.
Excellent. Well, you're a great role model, Terri.
I try to be. Righty go. Well, yeah. I've got 5 kids, so I have to try. I think if I keep it simple, it's not too bad. So we're I've just today I just noticed that one of my websites I have to create. It's not very mobile phone friendly, so one of the things that I have to do is turn it into a mobile phone app, which I've done with Terri Baxter, Educating the Future. That is now already an app, but I've got to do the same with the second site because it's just not very mobile friendly at the moment. So that's what I'll be working on over the next week. And WordPress, I don't know if anybody's noticed that. They've just released a free app download plugin in the back office there. I got an email which I've downloaded. I've installed the plugin, but I haven't sort of gone through the process due to time framing, and but I plan on doing that for this particular website as well. So that will make it a little bit more mobile friendly. Another program that we've just installed on that is the Cedar. It's a brilliant software plugin. The Cedar, a lot of people have, they want to know how to do payment options or transfer documents without email. The Cedar does all that. They create, you can book appointments, you can do payment options, you can do transfer of documents through there, and your clients just create an account, so it's brilliant. And it's got like a little greeting pop-up that you get installed as you install it. So, yeah, so the first thing people see when they log onto your site is a pop-up, your image, and with all the little icon buttons in there as well, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been up to. And just between, I had built another site with another, like with GoDaddy, and I wasn't really impressed with them, so that's actually getting closed down. So I'm mainly focusing on the 2 that I've got with DBL. So I find that they're very easy to manage, and affordability. The plugins are endless, and they're updating all the time. So I found that for the stuff that I wanted to do, I found that very competitive compared to the other one.
Terri, you mentioned you're doing some Amazon selling as well. Is that what I heard?
Yes, I've got an Amazon store. I'm an associate to Amazon. I think Sandra's put a link in the back in the down under with a video, I think, on Bing, and I think that was part of the call that I sat in with Stuart, because he covered both Bing and Amazon in the same founders call. So basically, it just you become an associate and sell products. Jay Williams just put an awesome video out as well on that as well. He's doing a lot different than what I'm doing. I've basically set it up on the website so that people, when they click in on that Amazon gift store, it basically takes them straight through to the Amazon store.
Yeah. Okay. And how are you finding that? Is there a lot of work involved with that?
No. Once you basically select all your categories, once you go through all your settings, I found it very easy.
Right, okay. Yep.
Set it up because you choose your items or you choose your categories. I chose all categories, and then I basically you just follow the step by step goes through, and it helps you build the store. Then you embed it into your website. And how I've done it is I've embedded it into a widget, which is, widget, can't remember now. It's a tab in the menus bar.
Yeah.
So I think it's, no, sorry, it's a page, then you embed it into the menus bar that way. And when it's clicked on, it takes them straight to the store. There's no mucking around.
Yep. So you don't actively drive any business, any advertising to that page?
If I wanted to do that, I would go into, I've actually just processed that particular website. I've actually just set it up on Google Business, and once I get the key to activate that, I'll then run a campaign on Google and do the same as what I've just done with Terri Baxter, and I'll just basically run that business and promote that business website, which will in the end drive more traffic.
Okay.
Sandra's just said that there's a couple of different themes and plugins that can also set up with Amazon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I found when I started going through with Amazon, I ended up, I think I've got 3 Amazon tabs in my Google browser now. They're extensions, so you can add them as well. You've got an Amazon helpline on there, a wish list, or you can actually go and search products themselves through, like if you're browsing a different site, you can basically click it and it'll create an article for you. I think Sandra just said something about becoming an affiliate for Amazon. Yeah, that's the association, yeah. You can, they do have promotions as well that you can basically take that and paste that out in your social media areas as well, as long as you're aware of the Facebook, and I think it's Facebook and Twitter. I don't know about Twitter, but Facebook require content in your ads, and Bing, they don't require content in your ads. So that's the only difference between the two. Which is why I like Bing, because I just take my link generator links and I paste them straight in, create the campaign and send it straight out.
Yep, good stuff. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. I don't think I'm ready for Amazon just yet. I've still got enough to learn on SFM.
I guess once you get the general drift of it, it's basically picking what you want to do and what you want to be happy with. I've done a bit of affiliate work for other companies, and
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, that's right, Sandra. Yeah, and you can cloak your Amazon URLs through your website tidy URL in the back of your website, or go through DBL. Cool. I like cloaking any of the URLs that I want to cloak through my website, because it actually still has, when you do it that way, it has your brand in it. When I cloak on my website, it has Terri Baxter, and then it has whatever the URL is in there that you want to put in there.
How do you keep yourself fired up, Terri? Like, to keep doing all this sort of stuff, because you must feel a bit, I suppose, like we all are, isolated with, being on your own and that sort of stuff. How do you go about that sort of thing?
I guess I've always been a loner, all through like school, and as I said, once I hit high school, I went from an A grade student down to, pretty well hit rock bottom, because it just, I found that the peer pressure was just unbelievable, and I got rebellious, and I wagged school, whopped school, but my kids didn't steer that.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. So I found every which way to try and get out of school as I possibly could, because it was just the pressure of being in there and not knowing where I was, and losing my grades, not having the help that I needed to understand the work, because it was harder. It made me more determined to get out of school and find a different alternative. To my mistake, though, I ended up with a bad crew and ended up with a bike accident quite quickly. That changed my life. That was a part of a direction that I needed to find something else.
Yep.
So I got out of that and I started going to TAFE, learning secretarial, old school. The squiggly lines that they do for shorthand and things like that. And that's sort of, I didn't like that very much. It was just challenging and I couldn't find any fulfillment in that. So I sort of travelled around a little while. And then I had my kids and I just got more and more determined that there was something out there for me to, something I needed to do. I was here for a reason, and I just couldn't find it. So I got to my fourth child, my daughter. I was about 6.5 months pregnant. I was 29 and I had a mild stroke. Again, I fought really hard. Doctors kept telling me, by the time you reach 30, you're going to be in a wheelchair. And I just sheer stubbornness, I guess, out of Dad's side. He basically sort of made me work harder when I was younger. It sort of kicked in and I'm like, well, it's not going to happen. I'll see when I got one foot in the grave, jokingly.
Yeah.
And I just went out and, between all of us, I'm only 48 today, but I feel like 20. So I've beaten the odds, and if I can do that, I can do just about anything. So I get up every day and I look at my kids and I think, well, what are we going to do today? What can we do that I can get some fulfillment out of it? And they're sort of, I live with them 24/7. I've got these 3 kids here. My other 2 have grown up and moved on and got their own families now. And 2 of these have got the disabilities, and we just do everything. We're just different from most families, I guess. We just do what we want and go where we want. And coming across SFM platform, it basically showed me that there was another area. Getting to meet Stuart could have knocked me over with a feather. The guy is so damn tall. It's all the people down there at the SFM Momentum Day in Melbourne. That was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, I can't wait. I'm shit scared, I have to be honest. If it's going to be in Brisbane, I'm going to be totally terrified up there, because I've looked at the prices of accommodation up there and I'm like, I think I better get another job. the prices of the accommodation up there are unbelievable. So
that's when you try Airbnb and share with people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, you just contact me. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, finally. Yeah, no, if it's up here in Brisbane, just contact me, because yous will be looking at the touristy accommodation thing, but if you know people who actually live in Brisbane, we'll actually point you in the direction of the actual cheaper accommodation, and we'll actually tell you how you can get budget prices on budget rooms. Because see, being banana benders up here, none of us pay full price when we go and stay at the hotels in the city, and they know that. So we all have this way of getting cheaper accommodation.
Yeah, as long as it's not a backpackers, I'm happy.
No. We actually have ways of getting cheap accommodation just about anywhere.
Cool. Well, that's the word on the grapevine anyway, that it is up in Brisbane, but they haven't set a definition on that. I know it's in December, but but that's the word on the grapevine. And I'm like, I've driven through Brisbane and I stayed in the car. I was just totally terrified of the place. It was just so big and overwhelming.
Brisbane's easy in comparison to Sydney. Sydney does your head in. Brisbane's like a quarter the size of Sydney.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they go back to Melbourne. I loved it down there. I just walked and walked and walked. I must have walked around in circles 3 times, and I thought, Says, I'm back where I started from. I think the guys will think I'm stalking them. I just want to get back to the tram and back to the flat. But I ended up going around because I kept getting on the wrong tram that would take me around the block and bring me back to the starting point. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I just couldn't believe how they just kept going around and around in circles.
Yeah, see, I couldn't make it to Brisbane because of the whole mum thing at the time. But, yeah, but even, you know, I couldn't even get down there for a couple of hours because just for flights from where I was in Tamworth down to Melbourne, just the flights alone, it would have cost me like almost $4,000 just for a couple of hours coming down to Melbourne. And I was like, you know, geez Louise, can't they have it in a cheap fucking city like Brisbane for a change? Because Sydney cost me a bloody fortune even though I drove down there. That cost an arm and a leg. Then they had it in Melbourne, but, you know, Mum was really sick and stuff in hospital and anyway, so couldn't really get down there. But that was still going to be expensive. And yeah, oh, look, you know, and they keep talking about Perth, and I'm like, well, if it's in Perth, ain't no way in hell I'm getting over there.
Yeah, I think in 3 years' time I might get that one, but yeah, I've always got a dream to go across the Nullarbor.
It'd be cheaper for me to go to New Zealand, Terry, than Perth. We'd actually get across to New Zealand cheaper than we would all the way across to Perth.
And quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you need a passport to go from Australia to New Zealand?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, well, that counts me out. I'd have too much red tape getting a passport.
Oh, you and me both.
All those scams that we're going through, because back in, when was Father's Day? September. 6th of September, my poor dear old mum, she decided to part with us.
Yeah.
And around that time, I wasn't in the frame of mind of business or what was going on, and I had all these scams coming at me about this, you know, inheritances, and you've got family over here and blah blah blah. You've got to provide this documentation. So I'm like, oh bugger, I've got to get this information out. And my birth certificate was the first one that I sent out, and then they started threatening if I don't make payment, they're going to issue with the federal police. Is it the federal police from the UK? What's the one? Oh, the FBI, sorry. And I'm like, I'm in Australia. We don't have the FBI. And I started thinking, and I'm starting to panic, the FBI is going to come and knock on my door and arrest me for whatever it was at the time. And I started contacting the authorities because I was really, really freaked out because all these scams are coming through my email account and I had no idea where they come from. But they look so real and legit, I had no choice but to follow through with them. So I started investigating which avenues to go through to get the clearance on these emails, and it's called ScamWatch. You send the email to ScamWatch, they review it, and then they notify you whether it's a legitimate email or not. But in that process, because I issued my birth certificate out, my birth certificate now has been flagged due to case of any terrorism acts that might incur in the future. So there's going to be a bit of red tape if I have to leave the country.
Yeah, there might be. There might be.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they normally give a bit of warning where it's going.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is,
might have to change your identity, Terry.
Oh, that's another story, Sandra. And one of these days we ever meet up, I can tell you that one too. You know, some of the things as a domestic violence survivor, you know, some of the things we've had to do to basically survive.
Absolutely hearing you there.
I've got some stories, I tell you, and I've only just today shared the good ones. You know, just in this little town, we've been here 4.5 years, and Nick would probably know. Recently, we just actually walked into the bank and handed them the keys to one of our properties that we had, because basically it was going nowhere. It was a dead-end, bottomless pit. Money was just getting poured into it, and I was trying to get this business up and running. These two websites, that I put a lot of heart and soul into, and I just couldn't fund any advertising because basically all the bills were getting paid, but we weren't surviving. And I'm just trying to constantly think of ways around it. And I thought, well, this is really going to hit home, because with everything else that I've been through this past 4 months, walking into the bank and literally not leaving that bank until they took those keys off me was extremely hard. I mean, my little Miss Nikita, she grew up there and took her first steps there, so there's a lot of memories there. And I'm just starting to see the freedom of that now. I'm just starting to get back into running some ad campaigns, and I'm running ad campaigns across Google, Facebook and Bing. And I find Bing is brilliant. I love Bing. And they're the 3 platforms that I'm using for running ad campaigns. I rotate them around so that they're not sort of all going out at one time. I put focus on one, and I might put, say, $50 on one or $100 on another, but I'm promoting the website on Facebook and Google, which is promoting the brand. With Bing, I'm promoting the links out of the back office, out of the link generator, and I find it's easy just to keep it simple and not go in too deep. Not be trying to force it out, because I don't like forcing things down people's throat. I just like, you know, it's there, it's an opportunity, and it's a choice that they're given. So, and I'm finding a lot of people are attracted to that. They're given the freedom to see that choice. It's not being rammed down their throat, so they're not expecting any, you know, hard and fast tactic with it. They're not any fake promotions with it or anything. So they're making their own choices. They're seeing the opportunities on the website all the time with the banners. You know, so it's constantly promoting that. It's in my blogs, I put, and this is a brilliant little plugin that I've just come across. It's called Thirsty Affiliates. It's brilliant. You get your SFM link from the back office, you put it in, and you type the title as close to relation to what the link is. So if you get Learning Internet Marketing, you could basically put Learning Internet Marketing as title, and then you put it in your Thirsty Affiliate, and just every time you're creating a blog post, you just throw that in there. And you could put your, I put 3 things in mine. I put the SFM corporate site, I put for information side of things, I put my personal corporate one, and I put the DBL business one. Is it the DBL business one? Digital business, the business
Digital
one.
Business Lounge.
Yeah, I think that's it, yeah.
DBL.
And they're the ones that I put in there. In the bottom of each post that I send out, and I put them as a read more at the end of each post. And I use the Thirsty Affiliate for that. So that basically, as you go and add the links, the URL and the title, I started putting them as a no follow. Some of the areas that you go through, if it's Twitter or something like that, they don't like no follow links. They prefer to be able to follow the links, so you leave them open. So it just depends on whether you want to cloak it or have it as a temporary or a no follow, or just leave it as is. So it's just up to the individual what they want to do with that one. Casitas, the other one. Just trying to think what other ones I've downloaded. They're all through WordPress plugins. WordPress plugins there. The other one that I'm using at the moment is Sell Downloads. So you can sell on your website, you can promote music, PDFs, or whatever you have as a sellable download, and it gives you an option for credit card options or you know, payment options there as well at the bottom of that one. So I've got that on my websites as well. It's all about I just like to create options for people, and just all about creating the options there, giving people the options to come in and just browse, really. Just browse at whatever's on the website, read the stories, see the photos of the family, see that it's a real person on each website that's there.
Cool.
That's pretty much what I do. So is there any more questions?
That's worked out all right. We've only got 5 minutes left.
Cool. And I've just started relaxing now too.
And we haven't heard from Nick. Hey,
Got
Nick.
any questions?
What about any interesting podcasts and things like that you got, Terry? Any stuff you listen to? And
I haven't really had time. I've been recently. I started working with Zoom and building a bit of a direction towards the May 14th. So yeah, getting some stuff around this area of Zoom at the moment, and poor Margaret Wathy is my lovely guinea pig. Every time I go to do something, she's my guinea pig and my audience. So I run it by her so that I'm going to be okay for the 14th when we do the broadcast, or the meeting or whatever it is. So yeah, I've just basically been tied up working towards that at the moment, and building. I built a PowerPoint presentation. I just got to get it working in the video.
Right.
Itself, yeah. It's not working the way I want it to work. So that's taking up a bit of time at the moment. And I've listened to, I've listened to, I don't know if it's a sequel, The Abundance Factor with Bob Proctor in that. I actually went out and purchased that, and it's got a training module with it as well. So I found that pretty interesting.
Yep.
Mainly just listen to Guy and Alan, really.
Yep, they're great, aren't they? Yep.
Yeah. I've always followed them for as long as I've been with SFM. I used to get a lot more time to sit in the training videos, but just with everything, I don't get much time these days. Pardon me. So I'm actually grateful that they've gone live, because my time schedule now, I've subscribed to Alan's live feed. So when he comes on, it's usually when I'm just about winding down, and I'm able to connect in and sit in and watch him live. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's brilliant, isn't he? He's fabulous. Yeah.
And another thing, that if anybody has started using live feed, down on the left-hand side of your Facebook page, they actually Facebook's they've installed a live map. Is it, Robbie? We were talking about this the other day. Live maps down in the bottom left-hand corner.
I think so.
Yeah, if you click on live maps, it shows you all around the world everyone that is doing a live broadcast at that particular moment. And if you hit the blue button or hover over the blue button, it'll show you where it's pinging out to and who's receiving that. And then you can choose if you want to go and sit in on that video or that live feed at that time, so and see what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's been installed recently. One more thing that with the Cedar, if anyone downloads the plugin for Cedar, you can actually install plugins from that, and it sends a setting over to your Facebook business page. So you've got they can do contacts or arrange meetings. Like I've just installed two of those settings on my business page, so they can contact me directly with information, emails, or they get directed back to your website. So they've got can arrange meetings. You can also, if somebody goes in there, you become like an affiliate for Cedar, and they basically can sign up in there as well. So they're given that option as well. You've got the option of going basic or upgrading to pro with that one as well. And that's, like Margaret and I just tested that out, and we were able to send documentation backwards and forwards to each other, and it's pretty easy. You can clear out the information after you've sent, like created the account, send the email and the information across, and then cancel it out by not remembering at the end of it. Yeah, it's got a lot of different contact avenues on there, from phone, mobile, like emails or faxes or whatever. There's different options there. It's got a PayPal option on that one as well, which I thought was pretty good.
Cool.
Well done. Thanks, Terry.
No worries. Thanks for coming, Terry.
Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Thanks, Robbie and Terry. Thank you so much for your time.
And next week we have Tony Everhart on NLP. So yeah.
Well, cool. Thanks, Terry. It was great listening to you, although I had a few technical issues myself this evening, but it was good to I listened to what you're up to and hear you tell your story. It's been very interesting.
You got any questions before we go, Nick?
Look, I'm so sorry. I got dragged away. Something happened outside there, so I've been away for. But look, the reason why I called you out is most people that come on these sort of things are all city folks, and I kind of like relate to you as similar to Sandra. You're always putting on a lot of helpful tips out, within the community, and just your work ethic, being out in country and all that kind of stuff. It just goes to show what the diversity of this business, and you're living proof of where the diversity comes from. Because most people in this organization, it's just my opinion, we're all city folks. Everything about success in corporate and this sort of stuff is in the city, and here you are out in the country doing, in a different kind of way, in a country manner, and with a business entrepreneurial mind in the middle of Australia. So I can hear everybody appreciative of you tonight, and I look forward to the recording. Good night.
No worries. Catch us all next week.
Well, yeah, thanks, Robbie.
Thank
Well
you.
done, Terry. Cheers, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.